Okay, back again, another live stream broadcast or podcast or whatever that is. So basically, I'm in the unintentional free time and I basically didn't do any live stream in this week, perhaps, or I'm actually do in the unintentional free time in the first day of the week. I'm not sure because one thing that I remember during the weekly scheduled intentional free time, I decided to prepare the native language podcast instead of this because I basically need to keep the 2 days a single upload consistency that I basically need to prepare and schedule in this day because I already tried to reduce the duration half, and to be honest, it's still pretty overwhelming for me to keep up with the consistency. So I already tried to do the good behavior recording as usual, which basically pretty short, but I decided to do it over and over again, which still pretty exhausted. Even though I'm not sure the total duration is basically already more than 30 minutes or not, because for some reason I try to I already tried to come back from the beginning again, so I already finished the whole that I need to record, so there should be no more misrecording, even though there obviously not perfect recording, which I basically still able to improve over and over again. So yeah, and since I basically try to prioritize with my native language podcast, so the things that I basically try to experience is try to explain in those episodes as well, just like the first day of the week, I guess, which basically pretty weird or pretty unique, or it is actually, even though it's basically still pretty unnecessary. So basically, I got confronted by the annoying college friends, even though I'm not sure whether it is serious or not. But I basically tried to take it not serious. So and just try to go with it because it eventually become the same as before. So there's not much any difference that I basically experience, and the policy related to my main job of tasks is also already cancelled, especially for me. So it's only applied for the people who basically got a big salary. So first, I don't know about the future, but at least I don't have to start or keep counting the countdown until I finally need to work in the same place for a single week straight, which is basically gonna be pretty exhausted, and there will be no good behavior recording or even any kind of my personal productivity that I can make, because during the weekly schedule intentional free time I will be not in a comfortable place that I can probably try to record those kind of things. Yeah, and basically it was already confirmed as well by the people who basically responsible for me. I think the day before yesterday, I guess, and I basically tried to do a deep talk as well last night related to the unnecessary conflict that I basically got in the first day of this week. So and it turns out some of them are basically pretty have similar principle that I just don't understand why they basically got those kind of things. So I basically started to realize and accept those kind of fate or destiny, because for some reason it's still pretty unnecessary for me to force something going to what I expected, even though the result is basically pretty much the same. So yeah, and I don't know what else did I basically want to talk about, because yeah, for some reason the talks is about the how they basically try to apply with their life, especially when they basically try to go life as a regular or ordinary peoples, which basically have some sort of competition that they try to mention. I'm not sure how I can explain this in English, because for some reason it's still pretty hard for me to explain in my own native language either, because yeah, I basically don't really understand what they basically try to say. But yeah, especially when I need to retell or explain it all over again to other peoples who basically, I don't know, have the same opinion, or it is basically different. I'm not sure. Because yeah, at the end of the day, the only thing that basically can change your life is still on your own. So I don't know what else did I basically want to talk about, because I basically need to do something related to my main job of task first, and after after do a daily meeting, and I basically need to take a bath before going into somewhere that I basically must do. But I don't know if I basically have sufficient time. I probably will try to talk face to face if it is really available, but yeah, I'm not sure, because yeah, I basically always try to come not that early, and yeah, I basically try to come back pretty late. But yeah, obviously the other people's is already, most of them are already not available, because they immediately come back into their own life. Yeah, because probably they already tried to wait longer when before I basically come late. So yeah, that's pretty unnecessary talk that I basically want to talk about, and it's still not 10 minutes yet. I'm not sure if I basically already reached 10 minutes. I will try to stop the stream and try to prepare a single native language podcast, perhaps, because I basically already in the different sessions, so it's already 7 episodes from the session that full of half of the duration. So basically, if it was still maintaining the same duration, then I basically still in 3.5 episode, which is, yeah, that is still a lot of video or duration that I basically need to prepare. But yeah, make it half is just making me more, I don't know, not really too stressful, or maybe still able to keep up with the consistency that I make, even though yeah, it's already been more than 6 months perhaps that I basically try to maintain this consistency, because it's already almost 100 video. So if you talk about 2 days consistency, then it means that it already more than 200 days, more than 6 months, I guess, because 6 months is 180 days, around that. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Then after already more than 6 months, there's only a single subscriber, and the views, most of them are still at zero because I decided not to watch my own video, unlike what I basically always try to do in my main channel. So in order to not have zero views, but yeah, it's basically, it doesn't really matter zero or single view. I think it's still prioritized the same by the YouTube algorithm, perhaps. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's already